Hello everyone, welcome to Sunburned Albino plays Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony, episode 23. We're in the middle of the class trial where it is apparently revealed that Tenko committed suicide under the cage, which is something I should have thought of, especially if she's the one who killed Angie. But then I guess it's still like the whole the scythe being in the corner, like how you reached down and threw it in the, I don't know.
There's no reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
Maybe I wasn't too far off with the theory I had earlier. You know, about Tenko killing Angie.
Yeah?
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right?
Hey, Angie, where did you brainwash Himiko?
Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity. Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
What?
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
Really? Why?
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
Take us down?
She wanted us to pick the wrong answer during the class trial, so she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her. Okay, well, she probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
But what are you saying? Tenko wasn't like that. She told me.
Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else.
What if all of that was just a lie?
A lie?
Wait, we should believe Tenko's last words.
The true terror of class trials is that you shouldn't believe everything said.
Himiko, you said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other? People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer. Is it wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation?
Jeez, you're such a naive dude.
Naive?
We're all just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets. What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
Well, duh. It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking. That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself. If you get betrayed, it's not their fault. It's your fault for believing in them. That's why I believed in Maki Roll, because I wanted to believe in her.
Just because you're acting all cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
Well, we come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree. No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito? Seriously?
Whether or not I believe, my heart can't reach Tenko anymore. But I want to believe in her. She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down. That's what I want to believe!
Me too. Gonta no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, that would answer all of our questions.
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
A proper reason.
All right, I'll give you a reason.
Is there a reason?
Yes, there is. Will you trust me, Maki? If it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like. But for now, I need you to trust in my detective work.
I don't believe Tenko would kill herself because of what she said. Okay, everyone, I'll see you guys after the seance. She said, see you guys after. I doubt she had a sudden change of heart. Just because we don't know how she was killed doesn't mean that it was suicide. We shouldn't be satisfied with that, and if we keep thinking, we'll find the truth. And that means we have to believe in Tenko. I'll make them all believe. Well, shoot, that means I probably picked someone that was indeed the culprit, and then they were like, no.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her,
No.
so she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if
gotta be
Tenko
Tenko's
did
last
commit
moment.
suicide, it would explain how she
It
died
would
during the
explain how she
seance.
died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle. And then stabbed herself with it!
Finally, with the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor. All the pieces fit.
Everyone thinks that Tenko committed suicide, but only because they're latching onto the easiest answer.
So far, suicide
But the
seems to be
hole
the
in the
best
corner
explanation.
Is
Her plan
where
was to take
the
us down
sickle
with
was
her.
thrown.
So she hid her true intentions.
Whoops, that's not what I did.
Not that kind
Let me try.
Finally, with the last of her strength.
Whoa. Damn. Shouldn't have been able to throw it away in time. I suppose unless her death was instant. No, it wasn't instant,
So
but
far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her, so she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if Tenko did commit
it's gotta
suicide,
be Tenko's last moments.
it
It's
would
gotta
explain
refute
how she
something.
died during the seance. She could have secretly brought the sickle.
I mean, that doesn't make sense. I get it. She could have hidden the sickle under her clothes.
Oh no!
I know, but like,
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her, so she hid her true intentions.
maybe Tenko's last moments does refute Corey Keogh's thing. And if it doesn't, then we'll have to do this again. Like, yeah, it's true she could have brought the sickle, but... Oh! What is the deal, then? Show me Monokuma File 3 again. Second victim, yeah. Victim's body was discovered in the vacant room on the 4th floor. They spent the time of death as 11 a.m. The victim was stabbed in the back of her neck, resulting in death. No other injuries were detected. I don't think that refutes anything. What was the other one? What were the other ones? Show me her last moments again. Died in a crouched position. The injury on the back of her neck was deep, but not enough to kill her immediately. Sickle under the floor. The sickle, that wasn't one of the things. Cross piece under the floor, right? That's one. One of the cross pieces, someone had purposely cut it.
Far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her, so she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But Tenko did commit suicide. It would explain how she died during the seance. She could have secretly brought the sickle.
Nope.
I
know
So
she
far,
could.
suicide seems the best explanation.
Okay.
Her plan was to take us down with her,
Wow, just straight up
So she's
missed there.
hidden.
That's fine.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if Tenko did commit suicide,
Show me Caged Child again, please. Okay, let's do this. This is such a big one.
it would explain how she died during the seance. She could have secretly brought the sickle. And then stabbed herself with it. Finally,
With the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath
the floor. All the pieces.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her.
No,
So she
missed
hit her
again.
too.
I'm so mad. How would she have known the caged child how it works?
It would explain how
She
she
look
died
at the
during
books beforehand?
She could have secretly brought the sickle.
Damn it!
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid.
But she couldn't have brought it under her clothes because then it was in the corner. The sickle was in the corner. And she couldn't have crouched down with it still under her
So far,
clothes.
suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Dude, what?
Her plan was to take us down with her.
No.
Oh no!
Suicide seems to be the best.
Hold on.
But if Tenko did
Hold on.
how she died.
Hold
She
on.
could have.
No, she couldn't have.
Sickle.
Because of. Oh.
Oh no!
I'm so mad. I'm so mad. What is with the dried blood?
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down.
I'm gonna put everything on this.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down.
This is now we have to just trial
So
and error.
far,
'Cause it's
suicide
too
seems
much
to be the
of a
best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with.
Arrgh.
Damn it!
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with. Oh no!
So far, suicide seems to be the best
Okay, we've
explanation.
now done everything
Her
here
plan was
except
to
hold
take
the
us
corner.
down
That
with
doesn't make any sense. Which is the point. So, take us down with her was not the one. So that's fine. Now let's do... Let's skip brought the sickle with her and then go with the
So
last
far,
of his
suicide
string.
seems to be the best explanation.
So, oh, nope, okay, it's not that.
I was wrong!
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Caged child. Is this frustrating to you guys yet? Okay, it's not that either.
I was wrong!
I was
So
wrong!
far,
No,
suicide
no!
seems to be the best explanation.
Loose floorboard.
Finally, with the last.
Nope, it's not that either.
Damn it!
So
I
far,
already tried to
suicide
refute
seems
that
be
with
the
hole
best
in the corner.
explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her.
So now we move on to the middle one here.
She could have secretly. The sickle.
Damn it!
So far,
Okay,
suicide
try
seems to
that.
be the best explanation.
Hole in the corner, let's try that.
Sickle.
No, not that either. Isn't that interesting? We're out of things, so I don't know what's the deal. We've used almost every single one. Okay, we tried hole in the corner, we tried floorboards for brought the sickle. Tenko's last moments.
So far, suicide seems to be the best.
Tenko's last moments refute sickle bringing? Because if so, that makes a lot of sense.
She could have
But then I thought I tried that already.
brought the sickle.
Oh no, that didn't work either. Alright
So
then.
far, suicide seems to be the best
Caged
explanation.
child.
secretly brought the sickle.
Oh no!
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Is this
Her
the
plan
part where
was to
we're
take us
lying?
down with
Are we
her.
trying to lie?
So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance. She could have secretly brought this.
Is there anything after
yourself
this?
with it.
Finally, with the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor. The pieces fit.
Everyone thinks that Tenko committed suicide, but only because they're latching onto the easiest answer. To get out of this, I need to make them think their suicide theory wouldn't work. So it
far,
is a
suicide
lie.
seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But Tenko did
In
commit
that case, do
It would
we
explain how she died during the seance.
lie about the loose
She could
floorboard
have
somehow?
I was wrong!
Or do we
So
do
far,
the
suicide
secure
seems to be the best
floorboard?
explanation.
Oh, okay, then we probably get rid of Kyo's thing. We lie about Tenko's last moment. Oh, yeah! We'll instead say that she died instantly.
Finally, with the last of her
There you
I'll
go.
reveal the truth. Tenko couldn't have thrown the sickle under the floor because she died instantly.
instantly.
Her death might not have been instant, but she couldn't have gone far before she bled out.
I'm certain of it. My investigation determined that she died instantly.
What's your opinion, Maki? I'd like to hear it from someone who specializes in murder.
Maki.
You're right. I completely forgot about that important detail. Tenko died instantly.
What?
As an assassin, I specialize in killing my targets swiftly. I have no doubt that Tenko was killed immediately.
Words of a true killer. Pretty sure we can believe everything she said.
Thank you, Maki.
How could you forget that, Maki roll? You better apologize to Shuichi.
Excuse me?
It's okay, Kaito, really. No apology necessary. Anyway, Tenko died so suddenly that she couldn't have gotten rid of the sickle. Knowing that, the theory that she killed herself just doesn't fit, correct?
Just like I thought. Tenko wouldn't commit suicide.
Thank goodness, Himiko.
Which means someone definitely killed Tenko during the seance.
Her suicide was considered because we could not determine how she was killed.
No! There must have been a way! We're gonna figure it out!
Did any of the participants witness anything peculiar during the seance? If you know something, please speak up. It could be the key to solving this mystery.
Not a bad idea. We should remember what happened at the seance. Let me try to remember. I'm sure there's something. I need some kind of clue that will help me solve this mystery. Well, yeah, that would be the thunk in the middle. Is that a bullet that we had? Sound during seance, yes.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance?
There is something that bothers me. The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed.
Whoops.
How utterly strange.
Now that I think
It doesn't
about
matter anyway, then.
While we were all singing the song, I heard something fall.
Yes, I
I
agree
agree.
with that.
Himiko, you think that something fell because of that sound you heard, right?
It sounded like something heavy fell down and hit the floor really hard. What could have fallen down?
Fallen down? There wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down, right?
Am I wrong? I thought something fell, but...
The sound was pretty loud. It did seem like something hit the floorboards.
A loud sound, like something hit the floorboards. Maybe that sound had something to do with the other thing that happened in the dark. Maybe the iron cage made that sound? The iron cage was heavy, but I don't think there were any signs of it being moved. I don't think that's the case. Show the question again. What caused the sound that was heard during the seance? No, 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 no. Wasn't the iron cage, apparently. Wasn't the marker stone. Not the magic circle. The dog statue? Statue on top of the cage made that sound?
Oh no!
No, they think I'm a fraud! Sound during seance. Was it the sound during the seance that made that sound? Hole in the corner, Tenko's last moments, sickle under the floor, cross piece under the floor. Wouldn't have made such a loud sound, it must have been heavier, it's true. That's a true fact. I made too many mistakes, so now obviously I'm the one that did it, even though no evidence whatsoever proves that.
Himiko.
Okay.
It sound... What could...
Fallen down.
Yeah.
The sound was
There
pretty
was
loud.
no loose floorboards under the ground. Cross piece under the floor.
Damn it!
Don't tell me it was the marker stone. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's too light. Go all the way down. Let's go all the way down again. Hole in the corner. Dog statue. This is all work.
This is it!
Oh, it is the loose floorboard.
I think the floorboard coming off had something to do with that sound. That floorboard came loose at some point during the seance, right?
Would the floorboard have made such a loud sound, though?
It was the sound of an intense impact.
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
That is true. There would have had to be a strong impact to make that sound. But what was it? What could it possibly be?
All right then, let's go with that. We all gotta put our heads together now. So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
No, it
But
was
that
fine.
statue was still on top of the cage.
Culprit hide under floor. Then stood up with such might.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
No.
A floorboard that comes loose when you step on it is dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Don't be stupid. Don't you know me and Balls are the best of friends?
What would have made a strong enough impact to knock the floorboard loose? Think about everyone's testimony and combine it with the facts.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance.
Maybe the
Maybe
handle
that
of the
person tore off
sickle
the
if they...
floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
Yeah, it's not that.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Culprit hide under floor, then stood up with such might.
If the culprit hit their head on that tough floorboard, they would be dead. They wouldn't be dead.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance.
Under floor, then stood up with such might.
Damn it! So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Culprit hide under floor, then stood up with such might.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
A floorboard that comes loose when you step on it is dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Could
So what made the floorboard come loose?
And then they threw the sickle on
Judging
the
from the
floor,
sound,
and then they put the back somehow. Let me see here. Let me just see here. Yeah, the statue couldn't have fallen over. That would have broken through the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
Arrgh. Step through floor, is that even possible? I'm going to investigate. Floorboard fit perfect on crosspiece.
Damn it!
Yeah, but I'm talking about the one in the hole.
So what made the floorboard come
The
loose?
hole in the corner.
judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
No. Seems somewhat impossible. It would have been difficult to remove the
I
heavy
was
floorboard
wrong.
during the seance. I understand why you would think that, Kibo. I'm not gonna fault you for that.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Yeah, it must
Someone
be
who
considerable
participated in the
force.
seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That would make such a loud
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Culprit hide under floor. Then
Stood up with such might. But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
That wouldn't have worked.
Dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
Have any experience with
Don't be stupid. Don't you know me and Balls are the best of friends?
I'm gonna agree with that because.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
I don't know.
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
It couldn't have been
That
that.
wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Apparently.
Maybe the statue fell over.
Dog statue will make a pretty loud noise since it's heavy, but the culprit wouldn't be able to lift it back up on the cage alone, right?
I was wrong.
But Gonta could have done it.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
culprit hide under floor. Then stood up with such might.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
Somebody had
floorboard
to
that
be
comes
under
loose
the
with
floor,
something.
though.
Experience with
They had to have been. I'm going to.
Loose.
Judging from the sound, it must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the fire. Maybe that person tore up the floorboards. That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound. Maybe the wooden statue fell over. But that statue was still on top of the cage. Culprit hide underfloor.
Then stood up with such might.
It's not that.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Does it just
Judging
sound
from the
during
sound.
seance then that we just agree
Someone who
with?
participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floor.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's
So what
not
made the
that.
Floorboard come loose. Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force. Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboards. That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound. Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
Did it really just miss?
But that statue was still on top of the cage. Culprit hide underfloor. Then
I'm
stood
so
up with such
mad.
might. There was no one under the floor. Someone must have stomped through the floor.
No, it's not that either. I mean, we're not lying now.
Oh no!
There's no reason to lie at this point.
So what made the floorboard?
Floor come loose. Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Consider a five. Yeah. Yeah, it's banana. Consider a five.
Crashing sound.
The wooden statue fell over.
Damn it!
Man, why is this trial getting me so good? I don't have the answers.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Okay, so did we look at everything? Did we see them all? Let me go through all the way to the end.
Culprit hide underfloor.
Then
Stood up with such might. But we already said there was no one under the floor. Someone must have stomped through the floorboard. A floorboard that comes loose when you step on it is dangerous. God, it's like... And the only way down is stay on the ball. You already have any experience with balls to feed at you.
Alright, yeah, that's right. It goes all the way in.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Alright. Dry
Judging
blood
from
under
the
the floor.
sound, there must have been considerable
Considerable force. Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floor.
We are now. It's
I
trial
was-
and error again.
So what made
is
the
what
Floorboard
we're
come
doing.
loose. Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force. Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard. That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound. Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
No, not bad.
I was.
So what made the
Floorboard come loose. Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force. Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard. That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound. Maybe the wooden statue fell over. But that statue was
We
still
already
on top of the
tried.
cage.
Stood up with such might.
Then stood up with such might. But we already said there was no one under the floor. Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
That's for sure not that.
Damn it!
So what made the
fit
floorboard
perfect
come
on the
loose?
crosspiece. But the crosspiece was broken, so they could have stomped it there at that point.
Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
Could they not
That
have?
wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound. Maybe the wooden statue fell over. But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Couldn't
Culprit
they
hide
not
underfloor.
have?
Then stood up with such might. But we already said there was no one under the floor. Someone must have stomped through the floor.
Yes!
I agree. Kokichi
Easy.
is right. The floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
But floorboards fit perfect. Going to make sure, first time we go to empty room.
When we first saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation,
Oh, well, that's obvious. Why am I taking Ganta's word for anything?
one of the cross pieces supporting the floorboards was cut off. After examining the cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
Someone? You mean the culprit, right? Why'd they do that?
What did the culprit stand to gain by cutting the crosspiece?
What did they stand to gain? That's the question. To solve this case, I'll need to think carefully about the crosspiece and the floorboard. Tenko's body was at one end of the loose floorboard, and the crosspiece that had been cut was on the other end of the floorboard. The unsupported part was outside the cage, so it could have been stomped on. Only one of the crosspieces was cut, the other two were intact. Oh, I so get it. It was to like fling her back so that she's like her back is to the side of the cage, and then they stab her through the cage, and the other was in the center, right about where the edge of the cage was. What was the culprit attempting to achieve by stomping on the floorboard? Come on, think. I get it. I don't know what this could possibly be, though. Alright, it's not A. It's not that. What happened when the loose floorboard was stepped on? Oh, game over already? Okay.
We
I
can't
hate Hangman's Gambit because I understand what they want, what the goal was here. I just don't know what specific word you're looking for. Smash? No, it's not W. Sen... No, it's not Sue. C? Seesaw. That's awful. What a terrible way to seesaw effect. Is it F? Oh, there is an F right there. Well, what do you know about that? There's F. They picked the worst possible ways to describe it. Effect. Alright, we're gonna find a C. And I didn't see one. Was it up here? Please show me the C. Okay, it was. And then T was like, yeah.
I see now.
This was not the right time for a Hangman's Gambit.
That's right. The floorboard might have been used as a seesaw.
Yeah? A seesaw?
The crosspiece at one end of the floorboard had been cut off. The other two crosspieces holding up that board were close to the cage. Meaning, if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece, the next crosspiece would act as a fulcrum to turn the floorboard into a lever. A lever capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
Her whole body lifted up?
Yeah, that sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
They couldn't have killed Tenko like that, unless they used the sickle.
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
Huh? How?
In order for the culprit to kill Tenko with a seesaw trick, the placement of the sickle is the most important factor.
The floorboard, seesaw, the cage, and the blood on the white fabric. What conclusions can I draw from this? There's only one place the sickle could have been that is consistent with the evidence. Set up next to the cage. No, it wasn't. It wasn't underneath the floorboard. It wasn't the top of the cage.
Damn it!
Was it underneath the floorboard? I picked the three wrong answers. Oh, I was like, yeah, I understand this, but apparently I don't understand the actual side placement.
That's right.
Okay, yeah. The top of the cage.
The placement of the...
But then how?
That's it! The sickle was at the top of the iron cage, with the blade facing down. The reason we didn't see it was because of the fabric covering the cage. Also, the wooden statue kept the blade in place. It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble, but the statue's weight kept it from falling over. Once everything was in place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw, Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the cage. She was
still
bent
kind of
over,
don't get
meaning the
that in
sickle's
terms
blade
of
would have connected with her neck.
how the blade is through the cage, but the handle isn't, but there's a white cloth that still doesn't have a hole on it. So after the cloth was removed, but the four of us put the dog statue on the cage. If it was also on top of the sickle, how would we have not seen it?
The 6-inch sickle blade wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in her crouched position, but with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, it could compensate for the blade's length.
Bringing the victim to the sickle rather than bringing the sickle to the victim. That's definitely an unorthodox idea.
It's crazy, but it would explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
So the sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
That impact make floorboard come loose.
Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned seesaw homicide. Wait, what the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
The craziness is what really makes the killing game fun, you know? They can't get away with murder the normal way, so they gotta think outside the box. Kudos, culprit!
That's the thing, is you could
did a
totally
great
get away
job
with
keeping
murder
me
the normal way.
entertained.
Indeed. Well played, Himiko.
Yeah?
It was you, wasn't it? The one behind the seesaw homicide.
Why her?
Because she's the only one capable of carrying out this plan.
The only one? Why's that?
Because this seesaw homicide required its location to be prepared beforehand.
By cutting the crosspiece beneath the floorboard, you mean?
Then the culprit would need to lure their victim into the prepared room. That is why you chose that room for the seance. Is it not, Himiko?
3 empty rooms, which one shall we use? The middle room.
Oh yeah! Himiko was the one who chose the site for the seance!
She likely found out about my plans for the seance somehow.
You were quite vocal about the seance, Kyo. You even had instructions for it in your lab.
Our culprit, Himiko, prepared her seesaw trap ahead of time. Then she waited for me to host the seance and suggested the middle room. She led us all into holding the seance right where she wanted it. Then, she killed Tenko, all according to plan.
That's a lie, right? Himiko did such a thing?
In the end, Himiko, who Tenko cherished and loved, tragically killed her.
Wait! We don't know that, right?
But Himiko was gonna go under it herself. Tenko volunteered to take her place.
He's wrong, right, Himiko? Himiko would never kill Tenko, right?
Kill Tenko? I killed Tenko?
Himiko?
What's wrong, Himiko?
It is true that using the middle room was Himiko's idea, but does that mean that Himiko really killed Tenko? Would something like that really happen? Something so cruel? Intermission. But don't tell me Corey Kyo did it, because that's worse. At this point, it was either Himiko, Corey Kyo, or Kokichi in my mind. It had to be somebody that was at the
Well now,
seance.
Looks like we've reached the intermission segment, which means it's time for our Guess the Victim quiz. A victim quiz? Not a culprit quiz? The only victims are the people who are still watching this drawn-out, boring crap. Why are you being such a downer all of a sudden?
It's okay.
It is okay. I am sure everyone is happy. How do you know? They could be skipping this entire conversation for all you know. I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. I'm the real victim here. Me. Why are you getting upset? If anything, I'm the real victim. I gotta put up with all this nonsense all the time.
Absolutely right!
That's the right answer, Monodam. Why? He hasn't said anything. Exactly, because there are no victims. Yep, even if you're killed in this killing game, you're a winner. Because then everyone mourns you, and you get tons of posthumous popularity.
Daddy.
Oh, Daddy, you don't need to reveal these kind of behind-the-scenes details.
All right!
Dying makes you more popular? Then we gotta die soon, too. Yeah, this trial's definitely longer.
Ooh, this is my impression of a spooky, scary ghost. Ah! I'm fine with real ghosts, but impressions of them are too scary.
Logic does not compute.
Huh? Did you hear something? No, I didn't hear anything. You know what else is scary? Sweet buns. Yep, tasty, tasty sweet buns. So round, so sweet, so delicious. That doesn't sound scary at all.
I'm scared too. Scared of losing my friends.
Huh? Did you hear something? No, I didn't hear anything.
Is all that remains of a once powerful youth.
Answer us, Himiko. You chose the middle room to lure us into your trap, did you not? Then you used that trap to kill Tenko, yes?
Well, Donkey Lips, did you kill that twat?
Wait, must be some mistake. No way Himiko is culprit.
Then she needs to defend herself. Otherwise, this debate is deadlocked.
I don't care if you gotta use magic to do it, but say something already.
Are you even listening?
No, I'm not listening.
What?
I don't care anymore. I'm too tired. Angie died. Tenko died. Why did I have to survive? And now, you're all saying I killed them? I just don't care anymore.
Himiko.
Do whatever. If you want to vote for me, then just go ahead.
The game gets really blah if the suspect isn't into it.
That's not the problem.
Damn it. Don't tell me you've given up.
Himiko, don't give up.
Don't you understand? My life is riding on the outcome of this trial!
Just shut up. I told you, I'm too tired. It's all just a big pain. I can't put up with it anymore.
What are you talking about? If you give up here...
You needn't worry. Himiko was the one who chose that room. Therefore, she is unmistakably the culprit.
Impossible! Himiko would never kill Tenko! Himiko not that kind of person. Gonta can tell by Himiko's face.
Himiko's a little slow, so I don't think she's capable of handling a complicated crime.
I also think Himiko's not the culprit. Somehow.
Either way, we gotta look for more possibilities.
That does seem like rather a pointless quest.
No, it's not. We gotta be strong. Gotta keep thinking. Then we might find new truth. So no give up, Himiko!
Himiko, I know how you feel. I felt the same way after Kaede died. But we can't give up. We survived. We can't give up for the sake of everyone who died.
Performing the seance in that room was Himiko's decision, was it not?
What if someone steered her into picking that room?
Dude, what if
Of the
Kokichi did it and it's
three
not
empty
his
rooms.
blood that he was on?
Why did you select the middle one, Himiko? Because you laid your trap there?
Was Trap only in that room? Other rooms may be trapped too.
Yeah, even if Himiko picked the room, someone else could have set that trap.
Oh yeah! Okay. Bloody Kokichi proves that other rooms were trapped.
What's Himiko's decision, was it then? What if someone
That's
steered
assuming
her into
that-
picking of
The three...
empty rooms?
Why did you select
The middle rooms.
Because you laid your trap?
Trap there.
Was Trap only in that room?
Room?
Other rooms may be trapped too.
Yes, indeed, Gonta.
I agree. It's just like Gonta said. Each room was the same. They were all trapped.
What? Is that true?
Kokichi will tell you.
I was way too careless. Wait, what are you talking about?
I guess there was no crosspiece supporting this floorboard, so I kinda stepped through. What bad luck.
While you were in the room next to the crime scene, you found a loose floorboard, right?
Well, I didn't find it so much as I stepped through it and tripped.
What? Hold on! There was also a loose floorboard in the next room?
So the culprit prepared a trap in all three empty rooms, not just the middle one.
If the culprit set traps in all the rooms, then they wouldn't need to select a room themselves.
So the real trap was for someone else to pick a room and take the blame.
I see. We were caught in the culprit's trap all along.
Especially you!
But now there's no reason to suspect Himiko, right?
Himiko, do you remember what Tenko told you?
Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else. Please.
Live life facing forward. She said that to you, right? If you give up on living, you'd be betraying her memory. We're all trying to keep our promises to the dead. This trial, it's not just for our lives. It's for everyone who's died as well. That's why we can't give up. This is our responsibility. We live on.
You're right. Yeah, that's right. If I gave up here, I wouldn't be able to face Angie or Tenko.
That's right. So let's do our best.
Alright, I'm not gonna say it's a pain anymore.
Alright, that doesn't necessarily mean Corey Keogh did it. It just means that he was maybe swept up in the one, like, you know, lead that he totally
I
was,
won't
like,
give
sunk
up.
into.
I'll fight alongside everyone and survive!
But maybe I just have a blind spot for Corey
Do not
Keogh
say
'cause he's
everyone.
such a wallflower.
After all, the blackened is still
He's such
among
a
us.
harmless little butterfly, you know?
Jeez, there you go. Killing the mood like usual. But damn, well said, Shuichi. That's what I'd expect from my soul, bro.
Your soul, bro?
Well, anyway, do you think the Blackened this time has some sort of superpower?
What are you talking about?
Well, as a self-proclaimed expert of stepping through floorboards, isn't it weird that no one stepped through that floorboard before the culprit used it?
Ah, that is a good point.
It must have been barrier magic.
Well, that's one possibility.
No, it was the
But I
fact that
think
you were
it
not
might have
allowed
been
to step
something
on Corey
else.
Keogh's magic circle. Why did no one step on the floorboard until it was used for the murder? Ah, that's it. That must be the reason. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-dum-bum-bum.
This is it!
Ah, see, we got an answer right off the bat this time.
It's
Isn't that
because of the
nice?
magic circle at the scene of the crime.
Also, it's dark in here, so be sure to watch your step. If the magic circle is broken, not only will the seance fail, but it may also unleash a curse.
Before we began the seance, we were warned not to step on the circle. The floorboard in question was within the circle. That's why no one stepped on it.
Yeah, that's why I don't think Corey Keogh would have done it, because he's the only one that's actually worried about a curse, unless that's a lie.
So the magic circle's purpose was to keep us away from the whole trick.
That was part of the culprit's plans too?
That's right. If that's the case, then the culprit... There's no doubt in my mind. They're the one who killed Tenko. Only one person had the opportunity and the motive. Don't make me pick Corey Keogh. I don't believe it.
It has to be you!
No!
Kyo. Was it you?
Whatever are you talking about?
I'm talking about Tenko's murder.
Kyo?
Why do you suspect me?
Because you were the one who drew the magic circle. The circle kept us from discovering the seesaw trick, but that's not all it was for. In order to make the murder succeed, variables like Tenko's position and the placement of the cage needed to be defined. And those variables were defined by using the magic circle. In short, the circle itself was the most important tool in this murder. Knowing that, the person who drew the magic circle has to be the culprit.
Well, Kyo,
Answer already! Did you do it?
What is so funny?
I was just thinking. So this is how each Blackened must have felt. What an intriguing experience this is.
What? An intriguing experience?
But if I am the culprit as you claim, then I stomped on the floorboard, yes? So, do tell. How could I have stomped on the floorboard during that darkened seance?
I see. That is problem.
Unless that is made clear, you cannot be certain I am the culprit.
how can you be so calm when you're backed into a corner like this?
I will explain that in due time. Please answer my question first.
The culprit stepped on that exact floorboard even in the darkness. But how? How did they move around in total darkness? In a room that dark, it's hard to imagine the culprit found the right board. Although, even after I put out the candle, I could move along the wall with my hand.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Maybe-
Did you figure it out?
That's it. The culprit didn't even have to see it all. They used...
That's it!
They went along the magic circle, and
The
that's why I was all
culprit
fucked
used
up at the end.
touch. They didn't see. They felt.
That way they could get around in the dark, like how I got to the candle.
Wasn't Seesaw in middle of room? Gonta doesn't think it was near wall.
So they probably used something besides the wall to move then, right?
Were there any other markers within reach?
Of course, the answer to that is there was nothing of the sort.
No, I'm sure there was something. A landmark they could have used to determine where the floorboard was. It must have been at the scene, I know it. Yep, magic circle. Alright, good. See, this is an example of when Hangman's Gambit is correct. Because there is only one thing that this is known by, and it's called the magic circle. Oh, I thought that was another C, damn it. See, was this an I? It sure was. R. C. C right there. This was L. No, it wasn't.
No, I'm sorry. Could you do that again, please? Could you do these leftmost ones once again? There you are. And the E is over here.
I see now. That's it! The magic circle. They used the magic circle. Remember? The magic circle was drawn with salt. The culprit used the salt's texture to feel their way through the dark.
I see. So Kyo traced the magic circle with his hands to get to the loose floorboard.
Oh, I see. You drew the magic circle with salt to use it as a guide.
Yeah, and then when you removed the white cloth, you removed the scythe with it and dropped it down into the floorboard real quick.
An interesting thought. It is unfortunate that it is so wrong.
What?
Recall the document. What did the magic circle look like?
Based on the document, the magic circle wouldn't reach the corners of the room.
So what?
When the room was darkened, each of us was in a corner of the room, yes? The magic circle didn't reach us, so I could not have followed it, yes?
But you're talking about the magic circle in the document. That doesn't mean the circle you drew was the same.
No, I most definitely drew it exactly the same. I have it perfectly memorized.
So which is it? Is there any way to check?
Not anymore. The magic circle is a complete mess from being trampled on.
I see. Another piece of the puzzle. Drawing the circle with salt all but guaranteed it would be temporary. The investigation itself would have gotten rid of the evidence. Clever.
Everyone, may I have your attention, please?
What a pain. We don't have any way to check it now.
Excuse me, everyone. May I have your attention, please?
Well, I guess there's no point in discussing the magic circle anymore.
Hey, may I have your attention?
Oh, I said cut that out! It's too bright!
I apologize. I just wanted everyone to listen to me.
About what?
I had Miu add another function to my body, in addition to the flashlight.
What the? No way! Did you really? Stop! You can't! I didn't install it for that
Please, let me use it. With it, I might be able to save everyone.
Alright, so what is this function?
It's an image recording function.
Image recording?
Specifically, this function allows me to dispense a printout of my own memory. I'll give it a try. Ready?
From your mouth?
Great.
I also used magic like that before.
This printout is my memory of being kicked out of the seance. Please confirm that the floor of the empty room is clearly visible. Go on, take the picture and see for yourself.
Okay, got it.
I reluctantly took the paper from Kibo's mouth. So this is the magic circle used for the seance.
Well, Shuichi, do you notice anything?
Notice anything? Yeah, I noticed these.
There! This helped a lot, Kibo. Without you, I never would have seen through Kyo's lie.
My lie.
You just said that you drew the magic circle exactly as it appears in the document. But that's a lie, isn't it? The magic circle at the scene had lines that stretched to the room's corners, which means that you would be able to find the floorboard from anywhere in the room.
So it was different from the document after all.
All because Himiko noticed. And because of Kibo, too.
Hey, where's my thanks? I'm the one who installed that function into Kibo.
Hey, yeah, what was it you were saying about its purpose?
Oh, to be honest, the purpose of that image recording function is to monitor my health. Specifically, I make Kibo use that function every day to analyze my turds. Your what? Why? Shit is a great indicator of intestinal health and gut bacteria quality. Plus, taking a satisfying shit does wonders for a woman's natural beauty, so... See? You're all grossed out! This is why I didn't want to tell you about my plan!
Quit talking about your poop. No one cares. Kyo, you killed Tenko, didn't you? Just give up and admit it already.
So, Kyo, if you have any objections, you can...
Your deductions are fiction. Well, since you've given me the option, I will most certainly object. To be honest, it's unimportant, but it may be an amusing diversion.
Unimportant.
Now I shall bear witness to your abilities, Shuichi. Do entertain me.
No more Truth Blade. Marker Stone.
If you are going to claim I am the culprit, then what of the murder weapon? It was set up in the cage. The only people capable of that are Kokichi and Shuichi, who carried the cage. So suspicion should fall on them.
True, we could have placed the sickle there, but we could not have removed it later. Because we weren't the ones who lifted the cage. That was Himiko.
The only person who could have collected the sickle is Himiko. But the only people who could have placed the sickle are Kokichi and Shuichi. But in regards to that dilemma, I did not carry the cage, nor did I lift it. I had no opportunity to touch the sickle.
Haha, I cut you with the white
words.
sheet.
The only person who could have set up the sickle and retrieved it afterward is Kyo. That was done by covering the cage with a white cloth. You could have secretly placed the sickle when you draped the cloth. And retrieved it afterward when you removed the cloth. Then, while everyone was distracted, you discreetly dropped the sickle under the floor.
Wonderful! That's exactly correct.
What?
It's correct? Then why don't you give up already?
The trick I put so much work into is just wasted effort now. Alas.
So, it was you? You killed Tenko?
Let me guess. You'll never forgive me. Himiko, you must hate me so very much. Maybe you'd feel better if I was executed by Monokuma. But unfortunately for you, that won't happen.
Right, because only the first murder matters. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys.